So why is equality, diversity and inclusion important to us as an organisation?
First of all, we need to reflect our customers. So in order to provide good levels of service, to understand their needs, to understand their requirements, unless our workforce reflects our customer base, there'll be a disconnect there and we won't be able to fulfill our job. But on top of that, there's also the making sure that ED&I is about everything we do, in terms of, HR processes, in terms of our recruitment, in terms of what we do to make sure that everyone that works here feels that they are part of the organisation, they can be themselves.
For me, it's just, being able to be myself. I've never had that before. So just being able to be me. And I think that it helps from a mental health point of view as well, because I know I'm supported. Whatever I'm struggling with, there's someone that I can talk to who can go, yeah, I get it. I feel that too. You're not alone. And I think that's really important when you're working somewhere. You can't feel alone. You have to feel part of that group. And we definitely do here, I think.
To me, I just think it's a benefit for the organisation together. Why, if you've got a good high EDI policies, people want to work here, so that just widens the talent pool, which is obviously going to be better for the organisation going forward.
That's what tipped me over to apply.
Okay.
I'd almost talked myself out of imposter syndrome and nerves and everything, and was looking through all of the information that you get before you apply. And one of the pieces was a blog post from someone in the Chic Network about his experience of coming out and how much he'd been embraced at work and how much the Chic Network helped. And that was the tipping point for me. I was like, right, well, then I'm in, and very grateful to be here now.
When I started my role here as ED&I manager, it was very much having those conversations with senior managers, talking about the benefits of ED&I, but also realising a lot of work has already been done and that you can see where ED&I is at the core of the way that the organisation works. And I think it's having these kind of conversations where we can be open, we can be honest, we can be respectful and kind of ask those questions. We talk about being adaptable, bold and curious. And I think we live and breathe those values on a daily basis, which is fantastic.
And I also think, because as you say, well, there's people who get it, it means probably unlike a lot of organisations elsewhere, I don't think Companies House would ever get complacent about it either, or take it for granted. Because obviously, even though we're very good at it, there's always room for improvement, isn't there?
People want to embrace it. People don't want to become complacent. It's more and more. It's just like a natural thing now that we think about it and we talk about it. It's not work. Do you know what I mean? We're not working at it. It's just natural.
Yeah, great. It's not like, it's not a corporate driven, you must do this, HR, put some networks in place. Yeah, all people led and people driven.
And I think things like things have now almost become second nature to us. I was working on some process flows the other day, and with a team of business representatives from loads of different teams. And as we were going to the flows, what about customers with disabilities? What are we going to do about those? It happened automatically, it was obviously on their mind. It's something that everyone was considering. So I think that's great that we arrived at that sort of mindset where people are thinking about these things all the time. I think that's amazing.
Oh, yeah, I agree, because I got originally involved with the Face Network. It was more to do with my job, because I was policy advisor on company names. And obviously we do get some controversial company names. It's probably be a good group to get into to test the waters with. As soon as I was in there, I think, I like this. I like learning about people's cultures, values, and that. So I think, even though I went in from a work point of view, it was quickly, that was almost like a byproduct.
I think nowadays, I just can't see any organisation where they wouldn't be putting equality, diversity, inclusion at the forefront of their business. And I think, we definitely see that here at Companies House. But yeah, it is a great place to work. It is, you do feel valued. You do feel like you can, I suppose, and it's just cliche, to be yourself. And that's what it's about, isn't it? Ultimately, is being able to be yourself at work. And if you can do that, you're much more likely to perform better, be more engaged with the organisation, give more back to the organisation. So I think it works both ways in terms of what you're able to give and what you're able to get back from the company, which is great.
Valued people tend to work better as well if you know that your company is going to embrace every bit of who you are. You want to give everything you can to that organisation, which is what I found only a year in. And I can't imagine leaving because it's so different from anywhere else I've worked.